Box back there, it's just been plugged in if somebody needs it.
I'll ask. I don't have it. I'll have it.
It's on our end. We'll have to reboot there. Will. Okay. You want to stand? Should we go on 402 or what should I do? Okay, bye. Keep going.
He's still standing up at the front.
Bring him out about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and be ready to go.
2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yes, sir. There you go. Yes, sir.
Continuity of the contract.
Hey. Hello? Hello? All right. Do you see us okay? Okay. That's fine. You're about a minute away. If you use that.
I can't do anything about it. It's on.
It's on our end. You're going to do something. They're going to go in 1 minute. Hey, less than 2 minutes. We have 11 minutes to make this. They don't need to just wait until. Okay. Jennifer's going to go to.
Well, they don't have it, so what's the matter?
I don't know. Problems on our end. You seen it okay here?
Is it okay?
I'll look into it.
Really not.
I can't go back.
You were so excited about the change.
I didn't put the blade on my blade until the rain got down. Back here he comes. He's walking. He's walking. I mean, you're on camera. Got a bit one, didn't it? No, they didn't.
Good afternoon. Be happy to take a few questions.
Dr. Postal, how did you weigh the likelihood that you're going to get embroiled in a lawsuit with Rick Pitino in this decision?
Well, the board, as you know, had a very long meeting today, and the reason for that is we wanted to make sure that Coach Pitino's team had a chance to present materials to us. We did not know ahead of time what exactly they were going to be presenting, so they gave a presentation and they presented us with some written materials, which we saw for the first time. And so one of the reasons the meeting was so long is we wanted to have a chance to sit down and thoughtfully go through the materials even after the team left, so that we could understand the content of what it was they wanted us to understand. So that's the reason the meeting was as long as it was, and obviously we were very thoughtful in our discussion about it.
Despite seeing all of that evidence that they presented, was there something convincing that said, we just don't believe this, or we're just going to make the decision to terminate?
No, we as I said, we listened carefully to what they said. We read carefully everything they gave us in the booklet of materials, and at the end of the conversation, we felt that our initial decision to begin the process of termination for cause was still in the best interest of the university, and that's why the resolution was put forward and passed.
What are the main points for you about why you chose to do this now? Is there, at the end of the day, the reasons that you find?
Well, there isn't just a single reason, as was outlined in the letter that initially was sent to Coach Pitino. There were a number of issues that over time were brought to our attention, and we simply felt as that this was in the best interest of the university to make the decision at this point in time. We try to do that with all decisions. You know, we weigh a lot of factors, and these aren't easy conversations, but we have to do what's best for the university. A payoff? We have not gotten to that conversation. No.
President Postma, how do you reconcile your statement that he couldn't have known about the Katina Powell episode with this decision and how you used it in your justification for firing?
The statement from July you're referring to? Well, so when I started this job in January, February, I began immediately trying to understand and assimilate issues related to the NCAA issues around Minority Hall. And, you know, I'm the kind of person I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And so I was trying to, again, put forward the best case for the University of Louisville and try to understand everyone's position in the matter. And I think as more issues now have been brought to our attention around recruiting issues related to men's basketball, you know, the situation changes. Again, we don't make decisions just based on one instance, but when there's more than one instance, you know, it's important to look at the context of the whole discussion.
Does anything that has happened make you less willing to believe that he was unaware of the Katina Powell allegations?
Well, I wasn't there, so I don't have the ability to say with certainty.
Are you concerned that people will sue for breach of contract?
Well, it's always a possibility. Universities have a lot of lawsuits related to personnel matters. That's not an uncommon thing for universities to encounter. So, of course, that's a possibility, and we deal with all those matters, you know, in a very standard way with attorneys who are expert in dealing with personnel matters.
Was that a concern for you guys in doing this now versus doing it a week from now or a month?
That was not the driving factor, no.
What is Kenny Johnson's status right now?
He's still on leave at this point.
Did you discuss him at all in that meeting?
No, this was not a meeting about him.
When's the earliest you could, the board could discuss his status as it pertains to further action?
Well, his contract runs through June, and so we're really just waiting for more information about the investigation to become apparent so that, again, we make sure that we make a decision that's in the best interest of the university.
Dr. Russell, did Mr. Pence present anything to give you pause or cause you to doubt your decision?
No, and that's why the vote today was unanimous. We just needed some time to digest it and read through the materials and make sure we understood all that he had presented.
Have you guys launched your own investigation?
Well, we've talked to some individuals, and we're having to be very careful about that because our primary goal is to cooperate with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and so there are certain individuals that we are not to have conversations with. So we've been very, very careful to avoid that. But outside of that list, certainly we have talked to some of our own employees to try to gain as much understanding of the situation as we can.
What about the NCAA?
We've had no conversation with the NCAA about this particular issue.
The message you're trying to send is to plan it right to give up fans. What would you say to them tonight after this decision?
Well, I think what we want the fans to know is that we have a fantastic basketball team. They're supposed to be in the top 5 this year. We certainly hope that's true. We've got a great coach. The team members are enthusiastic. They're going to practices. They're working hard, and they're looking forward to the season and to entertaining the fans. And at the end of the day, that's what this is really all about. It's about the student athletes. It's about putting quality entertainment and quality sports forward for the fans, and trying to get this university in a stable, good spot. He won all sorts of games and titles, and created a powerful program for many years at UofL.
Dr. Posto, how did you weigh the good Rick Pitino has done in the past 7 years
versus what's happened here recently?
Well, one of the hard things about decisions is that they always have to be about what's best for the university going forward. And so it's not necessary to say anything negative about victories in the past or titles in the past. Those are real things, and the university should be proud of those, but they really don't have anything to do with the current decision. We're trying to look at the facts as they exist today and understand what's in the university's best interest tomorrow. And so that's really the basis for all decisions of this type.
Can we read anything into today's decision that might have some bearing on the looming decision regarding athletic director Jurich?
No, that's a separate conversation. He has a different employer, a different kind of employment agreement, and so that wasn't discussed today because that's not a EULA issue.
Does the university have any insurance in the event that you are sued by Rick Pitino?
Well, the university has all types of insurance, yes, for different situations. Yeah. Depends on the circumstances and the type of action and so forth. It's a tough question to answer off the cuff.
Do you expect to be negotiating some type of settlement with him? And your action today, you fired him for cause, so I suppose you're maintaining that you don't owe him anything, but is that sort of the next step process? Or
you know, this does not preclude the possibility for such a conversation. Sometimes that's the way these matters turn out. I really can't predict that. We haven't set forward plans to do so, but you know that wouldn't be the first time that something like that has happened in employment matters.
Where was Vince Tyra?
You have to go through to notify him that he's been terminated, or is it?
No, we'll send him a formal letter. I think there has to be a registered letter sent to him and to his attorneys.
Dr. Mosey, you mentioned talking and starting your own investigation. Is Chuck Smirk doing that investigation?
Yes, he is. Part of it. Chuck was here last week for a couple of days and was starting to help us with the process of interviewing some parties. He's very knowledgeable about all the, make sure that we are complete in the types of questions we ask and that sort of thing.
Was there any kind of discussion among members based on the case that was presented by Mr. Pence about maybe delaying the vote, or that was compelling maybe in terms of just really discussing this further?
Well, the board at the end of the day did not see a reason to delay the vote because, again, we feel strongly that the matters we set forth in the letter are still the case. And again, we wanted to be thoughtful and think about the materials that we received today. But, waiting a week or two really isn't going to change anything. This is still how the board feels.
Where was Vince Tyra? Did he leave the meeting?
He was here until he had to catch a plane for the ACC meeting in Florida, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know about when that was?
I don't remember exactly what time he left. No.
What was the individuals you had to avoid speaking to? You mentioned as part of the internal investigation, what people need to avoid speaking to?
Well, we're not to speak to individuals who are actually being interviewed as part of the FBI's investigation.
Who are those people?
I can't give you a list of all those people. Again, that's an FBI issue.
did Vince have any say in the conversation?
No, because we hadn't completed our discussion and had a chance to read through everything, so he didn't want to weigh in prematurely until we had had a chance to digest everything that Mr. Pence and the other attorneys had given us.
Would it have changed your opinion if Pitino himself had showed up?
I don't know what he would have said that would have been any different. I presume that he instructed his attorneys to represent his opinions, so I think the answer is no.
What's the next big step for you guys? At the time, George, on Wednesday?
There will certainly be a conversation about Tom at the Board of Trustees on Wednesday. I can't really predict the details of that, but I know there will be a detailed conversation there.
Simon, we got to go.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
And I need the resolution.
Yes, thank you.
It's on our end. We'll have to redo there.
Will.
Okay. Hey, Kenny, you got to give us a 2-minute warning.
I'll ask. I don't have it. I'm having it.
What should I do?
He's still standing.
Sorry, I have to give you a 2-minute warning. You're still trying to clear up the room. Okay, do you want me to introduce it? TV is on. TV is on. TV is on.
Box back there has just been plugged in if somebody needs it.